hi there. It's me, Sarah Ruthless, and welcome to Drunk Bible Stories. So today we will be defiling the book of Job. So many people have asked about this one, and listen, did I go through a phase in high school where I exclusively read this book? Of course I did. Who didn't? Is it also an absolutely heinous, wretched, horrific account of how God is the world's most abusive boyfriend? Also, yes. Let's get this over with. Also, it's like 1 billion chapters long, so I'm gonna do my darndest, but FYI, it's gonna get real messy. Anyway, so we start out in the land of Uz, and there's this guy named Job. Dumb name, I know. And he's like basically the hottest, greatest, nicest, richest, best guy in town. Switch scenes. Now we're in heaven, and God is just being worshipped by like all the angels. I remember reading this as a kid and being like, that's what heaven is? I don't know about that. Anyway, they're in the middle of like a never-ending worship service, and then Satan shows up, and God is like, holy shit, Satan, where the fuck did you come from? And Satan's like, girl, hell hasn't been invented yet. I was just like walking around the universe. And then completely unprompted, God is like, have you seen Job? He's like my favorite human. He's so good. He worships me. All of his kids worship me. He's basically the best human I've ever made. And then Satan's like, this gives me a fun little idea. Do you want to like gamble on his soul? And God is like, oh my God, yes, I've been so bored. What's the bet? And Satan's like, well, of course he's like your favorite human and he worships you because nothing bad has ever happened to him. If you let me fuck with him a little bit, I bet he will totally not worship you anymore. And God is like, fuck you. He'll love me forever and always. You're on. But you're not allowed to touch his body. I just want to keep his body for myself, okay? It's none of your business. And Satan's like, not a problem. Like, who even wrote this book? So at the beginning of the story, Job has 500 oxen, 500 donkeys, 3,000 camels, 7,000 sheep, 3 daughters, 7 sons, and servants for days, honey. And then there's a horrible earthquake. All of his children, servants, and earthly belongings ripped away from him. Then there's like fire from heaven and it kills all of the sheep. And then like a neighboring tribe comes and takes all of his oxen and all of his donkeys. And then there's like a tornado that kills everything else. Basically, he's got jack shit, except for his wife and his body. You know, what else are you gonna do? He shaves his head, sackcloth, ashes, etc., and he just starts weeping. But he does not curse God. So then we're back in heaven, and Satan shows up again, and God's like, what the fuck are you doing here? 5 words or less. And Satan's like, out for a walk, bitch. And God is like, did you see? Job will not talk shit about me. He loves me so much. Counterpoint, you won't let me fuck with his body. If you let me torture him physically, he'll totally fucking curse you. Skin for skin, bitch. And God's like, okay, fine, fuck with his body, but you can't actually kill him. You can get really close to killing him, but you can't, like, he can't actually die though. And Satan's like, not a problem. So then Job is afflicted with like horrific oozing wounds from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, just like boils for days. Basically, he's just like in physical, unspeakable agony, but still he does not curse God. And at this point, even his wife is like, dude, just curse God and then he'll strike you dead. You should be put out of your misery. This is honestly super gross to watch. And Job is like, I don't know, I'm just like not ready yet. So then we get to like, his 3 friends come to visit. And these fucking clowns come with their own little cute flavors of philosophy. One of them is like obnoxiously fucking cheerful and optimistic. The second one's like the sad, anxious boy. And the third one is just like an angry piece of shit. But as soon as they see him, they're so horrified at how like unfucking recognizable he is that they fall down and also like weep and do the whole sackcloth and ashes thing. It's a lot of sackcloth and ashes, honestly. So after like a week of just like sitting in their feels, Job finally speaks. And he just begins waxing fucking poetic with some of honestly like the juiciest emo poetry ever written. I'm just saying, Conor Oberst could never. Like, we're getting woe is me, first the day I was born, wish I had a time machine so I could go back in time, find my mom, and punch her in the stomach so I'd never be born. It's like a lot. So then that just like goes on and on and on. And then friend number 1 speaks. You're God's favorite. Everyone knows that. God is obviously just testing you because he loves you so much. So like really, you should be super grateful that God is torturing you because that just means he likes you. And then Job just like gives us a lot more fucking bitching. Job longs for death, no consolation from his friends. Job declares his miseries, Job's hopelessness. Oh my God. So then we get to friend number 2. His name is Bildad. And Bill is like, girl, God does not punish anyone unless he has like a really good fucking reason. So obviously you did something shitty and you just don't remember. So you should probably just say you're sorry and then God will like make everything better. So then we get to friend number 3. His name is Zophar, and he is basically like Bill, except like even more aggressive. First of all, girl, I know you lost all of your earthly possessions and all of your children died in a horrific tornado thing situation, and also like all of the horrible physical afflictions that, by the way, are disgusting to look at. But I still feel like somehow this is your fault, and you should be begging God for forgiveness. And then they just all go back and forth, I shitteth you not, for fucking like chapters. It's just exhausting. So they're basically just like stuck in a loop of like, he's testing you because he loves you and he's torturing you because you're his favorite. I don't know. I don't really feel like that is what's happening. And if it is, then I fucking hate it. God is perfect and wouldn't do anything mean to you unless you had done something bad. So you should probably beg for his forgiveness. And Job's like, I really don't think I did though. I think I'd fucking remember if I did something bad enough to deserve all this. Girl, we're literally all pieces of shit. We all deserve to fucking die. It's honestly a miracle that we're not being tortured constantly all the time. I'm basically saying what friend number 2 is saying, but just like angrier. Oh my God. Ugh. So finally, we get to chapter 32, when friend number 4 appears. They're all like, what the fuck, friend number 4, where'd you come from? And he's like, first of all, my name's Elihu. Dumb name, I know. Second of all, I've actually been here the whole time, not that it matters. Listen, y'all are old and I'm young, so I thought I would be respectful and let you go first or whatever. But here's the thing though, literally everything that's come out of your boring old mouths has been fucking terrible advice. And honestly, I just feel like you're being really bad friends. And Job is like, oh my God, thank you, Elihu. And Elihu is like, no girl, my turn. Oh my God. And then Elihu just like does not shut the fuck up. And honestly, he doesn't say anything that's that different from the first 3 friends. He's just like, you're God's favorite, kind of, but mostly you're a piece of shit because we're all pieces of shit. And God is perfect and never does anything wrong. It's not like God is some angry little toddler in the sky having a temper tantrum gambling over your soul with the devil. I mean, that'd be crazy. And clearly you did something bad and you should feel bad about it. And that's why this is happening to you. And even if you didn't do anything bad, you still technically deserve to be tortured forever because of like your humanity, etc. Don't worry, it gets worse. Finally, after like 7 chapters of Elihu not shutting the fuck up, basically Elihu is so annoying that God finally shows up. There's like a big storm and God like appears. What a drama king, oh my God. And then he just reads the ever-living shit out of Job. Listen, bitch, where the fuck were you when I was making the universe? Were you there when I like invented the ass crack of the ocean with those fucking fish with the little light bulb dangly things off their head? Yeah, didn't think so. Where were you when I came? Wait, I just noticed in this Bible, just like the chapter headings, it's going through all the things that God made. The hawk and the eagle, the ostrich, the rhinoceros, the wild ass. Anyway, so yeah, back to the reading. God is like, yeah, where were you? I lost my place. How about, I don't know, the lightning bolts that I just keep in my purse for fun? Yeah, okay, now I'm on track. How about that one time I got really stoned and came up with the platypus? Have you seen that thing? She's immaculate. You could never, Job. And yeah, that just like goes on for some time. It's honestly really unnecessary. But anyway. Or how about cat dicks? You ever Googled that shit? This is not an intelligent designer. This is the work of a megalomaniac sociopath with access to unlimited fucking power. Cat dicks. Seriously, Google it. Cat dicks? Really? And then at this point, I think Job is pretty much operating on the level of like a lobotomized 50s housewife. And he's like, you're right, Daddy. I love you. You've never done anything bad, ever. I don't know where these bruises came from. I'm so clumsy. I got them from falling down the stairs. Why am I so clumsy? You're so good to me, God. Oh my God, please don't hurt me again. Oh my God. And God is like, yeah, that's what I thought, you stupid little bitch. It's just awful. Did you see that, Satan? I made Job my little bitch. Nailed it. It's never explained to Job that all of this nonsense happened because of a bet God made with Satan. He just wants an explanation. He just wants to know what he did wrong so he can apologize for it. But God does not like communicating directly or otherwise. As it turns out, God cares a lot more about his big dick and swinging it around and making it everyone else's problem. Oh my God. I hate it so much. Anyway, and then God is like, bring back my girls. Listen, you three. I've barely been paying attention for the last 40 chapters, but I'm pretty sure you've been talking shit about me. Fucking hate that. Now Daddy wants more blood. Go find whatever animal is in season right now, sacrifice the shit out of it, and maybe I won't get too gambly in the soul department. So the three friends sacrifice the fuck out of some animals, beg God not to fuck with their shit, and then he doesn't though. And then as a bonus, he also gives Job all of his shit back. And then he lived to be 140, which I guess was a good thing. Sounds like a bit much to me, but then again, all of this is a bit much, isn't it? It's really the perfect model for anyone who wants to be the abuser in an abusive relationship. You love bomb, then you withdraw, then you pick fights, torture them, threaten abandonment, then you gaslight them into thinking none of it ever fucking happened. God is a fucking asshole. You heard it here first, kids. Before we wrap things up, I just have to add, does anyone else remember the fucking Adventures in Odyssey episode about this? I cannot stop thinking about it, and I'm terrified of finding it and re-listening to it, because from what I remember, first of all, for some reason, every iteration of Satan in Adventures in Odyssey, he always had a British accent, which why? And then in the scene when God is in heaven and then Satan walks up, they gave the sound effect of Satan's hooves clip-clopping, but the way that it sounds on a radio play literally just sounds like this kind of sassy British man walking in high heels. I swear to God, that's what I remember.
Satan. Yes, what is it? Where have you come from, evil one?
Oh, lots of places. I've been roaming around the earth, going back and forth.
Have you considered my servant Job? How blameless and upright he is.
Yes, I've been watching him very closely. Very closely indeed.
Damn. They knew what the fuck they were doing. What I'm trying to say is that it's not enough for me to deconstruct my faith and become an atheist. I also need to punch James Dobson in the face. This has been Drunk Bible Stories. Fuck you, James Dobson. And honestly, if Satan's gay, I can't wait to go to hell.